up, y'all? Welcome back to the Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship. It's your girl, Coach K. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Before we get started, you know the drill. Make sure you have subscribed to the Upgraded Mindsets media channel. Make sure you are favored in the Woman's Hustle on your favorite streaming platform because y'all know these conversations and these episodes have been amazing. And baby, this one is going to be no different. If you are watching me on screen, then you see I am not here solo. So I'm gonna allow my guest the honor of introducing herself. What it do, baby?
Hello, Creators Risings. I am Coach Qween Red. I'm a wealth independence navigation coach here. Yes,
I
yes,
love it. I love it. You know, I cannot wait. We have connected mutually through one of our mutual connections. Shout out to Archie Jenkins with 180 Life. But listen, I am so excited to have you here on the Woman's Hustle. To first of all, bring your awesome energy. Because when I tell y'all her energy is so high vibrational, I love it. So just being here virtually with you is such a blessing. And I'm just so glad that you're going to be blessed in the Woman's Hustle today.
absolutely honored. And I love your energy. I try to like, heart, share everything. You just very present. Okay. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, yes, please share a little bit more about you, your backstory, and how you got started with everything that you got going on today.
My goodness, my backstory. I don't know where to begin at. I've tried to run away from the idea of helping people in the area of wealth and finance and wellness, and I couldn't get away from it.
Okay. That purpose was like, knock, knock.
So my backstory a little bit, this was years ago, my first marriage. I had no idea about credit. I am a military veteran. I joined the military at the age of 17. 3 weeks after I graduated high school, I was rest to go. Um, that's a whole nother
Crazy,
story.
crazy.
Did several years in the military. I've been to Germany, Korea, Tel Aviv, different places. I love the military. Got to Fort Hood, Texas, which is now Fort Cavazos, and ended up having to make a major life decision. I had to get out the military. I had my daughter with me at the time. It was because 9/11 happened. And my first husband at the time, he had more time in the military than I did. Long story short, we ended up getting a divorce. It was a very nasty divorce. He ended up pulling out a gun on me in my home for various traumatic PTSD related issues. And in doing so, I ended up having to be the sole parent to take care of a two income household that went down to a one income household. And I had a very great job at the time. I was just starting out in my career as a logistics specialist, and I went into the field of IT. I had a top security clearance with the government, and anybody who knows who've been with sectors with the government, they check your background check every so couple years. So luckily, I had my background check come up, and my clearance was temporarily suspended because of things on my credit report. Yeah, and that was the start of me learning how to do credit on my own. I think that was the most embarrassing thing I had to experience, which is being escorted out of a TS secured area because I couldn't work in there for that time being until my clearance was taken care of for things of my exes and things that I
Right.
just didn't have no concept of
Yeah.
from that age, and I learned it quickly. So long story short, I got into the credit repair. I got under a mentor. I learned the game. And in doing that, I learned that people don't have a problem with credit. People have a problem with the foundation of their wealth. That has been the that has been the gist of my journey. And not only that, it's really I cater to women particularly
Yeah.
because after the whole credit thing, I just refuse. I did not want any woman to experience what I went through from my first marriage, and I don't care how well. And this is just my experience. I don't care
Yeah.
how well you're doing in a relationship, how well you have it. I truly believe that a woman should have their own to stand on any given Sunday. You hear about the whole heirs. They inherit things. This is the heir to this is the heir to that. Where are the heirs? Where are the
Hey,
women who
come on.
inherit things? And this is what I'm about.
Yeah.
I'm leaving a legacy behind. So speed it up a little bit. I got into the business. God gave me my first business, Redman Legacy Coaching LLC, and God said, "Leave a legacy behind, not a liability." I had to grow into that slogan.
Yeah.
When I said I had to grow into it, I literally had to spiritually, physically grow into that statement. And it matured over the years
Yeah.
of me learning not just myself, but the people I've encountered, families I've encountered, what really is going on behind why we, as you know, African Americans, Black people, people of color, if you
Yeah.
want, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
are leaving more of a liability behind than a legacy.
Yes.
And it's not just with numbers of money; it's also with lack of knowledge. And then now I bring it to present day with I'm heavy on wellness. Wellness is at the top of my list. I've done 17 years in corporate America. I retired as a cybersecurity lead. I worked at the Fort Cavazos base as a senior cybersecurity specialist at the Operational Test Command, and I learned a lot. Okay, I learned a lot in corporate
Girl,
America.
I can only imagine all the knowledge that you got up in that head, baby. Ooh. Ooh, I'm about jealous a little bit because man, I know that was just so exciting, sis. Ooh, I
I
love
had fun. I had so much fun. I really would have stayed, but I couldn't. I had a stroke, and it was definitely something that I was not planning. I had a stroke in January of 2022,
it.
and a lot of things was going on. Back then I was a serial entrepreneur. Okay, I retired that statement. I retired the serial entrepreneur.
You
I am
know
now.
that's right.
I am a heart-centered investor. And what a heart-centered investor is someone who invests in things that aligns with their heart principles and their lifestyle. And I do my best to lead in my feminine energy, and my masculine energy supports that. Like on everything. I can tell you so many things that's happened in corporate America. I was the mama bear. I had my team. I had a lot of old principles from me to be in the military.
Yeah.
I'm a huge team player. But I also realized the women like me who have big hearts, we overextend, we overgive,
Mm,
we do a lot of things to overcompensate, to including people pleasing. And this is why I said I do my best on a daily basis, where it says, "Seek ye first the consciousness of Christ, seek ye first the kingdom of God" in Matthew 6 and 33. I do that every day to lead with my feminine energy because it's so important to the wellness. And when I say wellness, I'm talking about the well being and
yes.
the well doing of my soul. And it's just from all the things that I've experienced in my life, from depression, anxiety, binge eating, overthinking, being overstimulated. It's just so many things that women go through, that invisible labor that we don't often talk about.
At all.
So
Not enough.
not enough. So where I am today, I'm a wealth independence navigation coach. I have my business, Win Capital Consulting LLC. Like I said, I'm a heart centered investor, and I talk about relationship capital. I'm very big on relationship capital. And when I mean relationship capital, there's this guy, he talks about relationship capital. He talked about the Latin meaning of it. And I kind of just extended on that definition of relationship capital, meaning that you invest in relationships, and that is what truly brings you wealth. You invest in the right relationships. And when you invest in the right relationships, then you don't have to worry about looking over your back.
Come on. Come on.
Integrity. And that's the biggest thing as an entrepreneur is, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially women, that come out here and they get into the entrepreneur business. It's like, okay, who can I trust? And you get burnt. And I
Yeah.
mean, I could go on about this.
Hey, we can talk about it all day because it's facts. That is such an important topic that I feel like is not talked about enough. So we are going to touch on that a little bit because we're operating in emotion, but it's not the aligned emotion, if that makes sense.
That is truth.
Yeah.
That is truth.
We like, oh, we want to trust, we want to, and then we also want to stick with and try to get those who have been around us already before we're stepping into the growth journey, and they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the skills, and they don't have the mindset to help you, but yet and still your loyalty, and I use those air quotes because your loyalty is what's holding you back. So when it comes to stepping into our higher self and our higher being and purpose, we do have to have these uncomfortable conversations.
Yes.
There are people, and I tell people this because this year has been an amazing year when it comes to connection and collaboration for me. The blessings have been so abundant, but I finally had to fully surrender and
Look,
understand that them ain't for me for the business side of things. They could still be there supporting me personally, and but I had to realize that I can't rely on that. I have to find my tribes. I have to build my tribes, like-minded tribes, growth-minded tribes, and fully relinquishing that and stepping into that has been the best thing. This has been the best year for my business because I fully surrendered and understood that that's something that had to happen.
I love that. I love that. Relationships are so important to me. And you mentioned about emotions. And one of the things that we can't escape, we always say, don't allow your emotions to lead. And I think that's a bogus statement because we're emotional human beings. What you
Especially
really
women.
want, especially women,
Oh,
what
yes.
you really want to say is you want to make sure that you have regulated emotions that are leading. They are healthy and they're not dysregulated. They're not unhealthy. They're not chaotic. You know, that's very important to me. One of the things that I also do is I started a program under my business called Lotus Life Program. And that is something that is my baby and it is blooming as we speak. And it is for women entrepreneurs who are leaving a corporate institution or a traditional institution like corporate America or a military service or a church or anything that is structured that would impose the environment for those type of elements to happen. They foster microaggressions. They foster
Man.
misplacement. They foster feeling like you're being shrunken, your voice is not being heard. They foster those. And a lot of times women get into these environments and they get into their masculine energy and they want to end up competing with other women,
Yeah.
and it's not necessarily needed. It's
That
not, so the Lotus Life program was birthed to get these women in here who need to heal, but they need to heal because they have a gift that needs to be birthed the right way.
Oh,
You know,
that's so powerful, y'all. You don't know how you speaking to me, sis. I love it. We have to create these spaces.
yes.
We have to create these spaces. And I know as women, we're hesitant, right? We're like, oh, I've been burned. I definitely can relate to the people pleasing,
Yes.
baby. I spent so many years doing that. People like, girl, what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. I'm where I'm supposed to be now. I don't know nothing about no people pleasing.
Yeah.
I'm not pleasing you at the expense of myself.
Yes.
And it's important for us to build those communities. I love that you have created a community for that, because
Yes.
one thing that we do have to be mindful of, especially as entrepreneurs, is our mental well-being. As we talk about, that's something that we got to talk about often. We don't, and I think that people don't realize it, because people are like, well, are you a life and business coach? I'm like, listen, your personal clarity has to be established before you can step into anything entrepreneur wise. So many women try to skip over that part. Well,
Yes.
I want to start a business. Okay, well, talking to me first, baby. We finna talk personal. What's going on over here? And sometimes they don't want to open up. Well, okay, I'm just not the person for you, because for one, personal experience shown me that I had to get personal clarity first before I could truly step in and make upgraded mindsets what it has been built to be and what it continues to grow to be.
Mm.
So just really understanding that the personal side has to be established. You have to figure out what your personal purpose is in life. And just, I love what you said at the beginning of the podcast. Like, you're like, hey, I was trying to run from this. I was trying to run.
I really was because my Coach Keisha, my business partner with
Yeah,
Passive Wealth Group, she
I
even
love
said,
her.
she said, this is your gift, and I had to accept, like, no, I know this is my gift, because what I do is I do coach. I coach women, and I coach women who are in couples or married
Mm,
with their wealth. Because when I used to do budgeting, I would be very stringent on the spreadsheets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now that I have experience under me, it's not the spreadsheets, it's the lifestyle. It's how do you want to live your life? And Keisha knows I study people's lifestyles. Like I'm a
Yeah.
fan of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but not for what you think I'm a fan for.
Right.
Like, and see, and it's because they're all business women. And I was telling her, I said, this is the thing. I said, we get caught up and the thing when I was working the corporate job is I worked the 9 to 5 and I was a huge position. So I wasn't working 9 to 5. I was working all around the clock because I
Yeah.
was in a leadership
80
position.
hours in a week. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, okay. And like, so one of my clients now, the thing I love about what I do is I love showing women their power
Yeah.
and their wealth. And I have this thing called lifestyle currency coaching. And I always try to elevate people because language is very important to me.
Very.
And this is what I started doing after the fact that I got into the coaching of this is what's going on with your lifestyle versus this is what you want to do. So we always talk about, I want to manifest my heaven on earth. But what do we really mean by that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then so when I'm working with these women, a lot of times women get overwhelmed because we don't want to admit this, but when we're in relationships, we're usually the people managing the money. Okay. All right. And then when we're in these relationships and we're managing this money, we don't really have clarity about everything that's coming in because our big hearts are trying to take care of all these things in the household.
Oh, Lord.
So, guess what's happening? All the currency is being poured out side of the household. So, what happens is you're seeing all the money going out, but where is it coming back at? So, once you get a hold of the power that you see, and you say, "Oh, this is what my lifestyle looks like." Once you understand what your lifestyle looks like, and you gain clarity about this is what you want, now you have power. Because this is, and you even said, you said purpose. A lot of people get caught up in other people's purpose
Yes, they do.
because they don't know what their purpose is. So you're getting assigned someone else's purpose, just like you get assigned someone else's currency because you don't got clarity of yours.
Deflection.
Okay. So I love doing what I do when it comes to wealth because everyone's wealth is not linear and everyone's wealth does not require the same type of flow. And this is the thing about, you said, like I said, knowing your purpose. I had to go grow through my trials to discover this is what I
Yeah.
can sleep at night doing.
Yeah.
This is what I can look and we can have a conversation. I have principles that the creator has given me and I'm teaching these principles and we're looking at your lifestyle and we're coming with a plan that works for you and your family and you're being successful. Now you gain control over what you want to really manifest.
Man, listen, y'all. If y'all ain't writing down all these powerful gems that's being dropped right now, I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all gonna have to say this one as a favorite. I'm telling you, because so much knowledge. But I love that she is so you can just tell the passion, right? You can just tell the passion, but your lived experiences and also just aligning, like you said, aligning yourself with what is destined for you. Like you said, you can sleep at night doing this. We can do this with our eyes closed. That's
Yes.
purpose for me, to
That
know that and it's not stressful, because I think too, and I want to touch on this a little bit. How would you, in your coaching practices, how do you help someone learn the difference between like a healthy hustle versus like harmful, like overworking and getting to the point of burnout? Because I think that's something that we want to talk about a little bit, because we hear, oh, the grind, the grind, the grind, the hustle, the hustle. Hey, this is called the woman's hustle. But guess what? I'm aligned with the hustle, this hustle. And this hustle will tell me it's time for me to shut down. It's time for me to take a break. And I'm very unapologetic about that. So, how can someone tell the difference between that? And what do you think that they should do when they do start to notice that?
I love this question. I love this question. Okay, so that is a wonderful question. So I'm going to share something I only share in my coaching practice, but this is fine because they're going to have to give me anyway. Okay, so
Hey, that
I
part.
have a principle that I personally use, and it's called time plus energy equals currency. One of my principles is time is pliable to you. Okay. What does that mean? That means that if you believe that time is a construct, which it is, time plus energy equals currency. That means that if you got to put time in it and you know that your energy is going to equate to that time, is it worth your currency? Now, what do I mean by that? Currency can be transmuted or transformed into some type of stored or moving energy. It could be money, it could be your body, it could be whatever the case is. Okay. Now, if it was up to Coach K and you wanted to do certain things, guess what? You can turn all your energy into something that can transform into whatever you wanted to do, right? But you're only one person. So that is where you have to look and see what is actually manifesting the things I want in my lifestyle that's going to benefit me. And this is where the reality sets in for most of my clients, where they get to see, oh my goodness, I am kind of wasting time with these people. So one of the things I usually do is I ask my clients is, where are your resources and where are your takers? Where are your resources and where are your takers? And more times than often, we have more takers in our lives than we do have resources.
That's a fact. We definitely have more takers.
Okay. And
That
then
is, ooh,
and then sometimes, depending on the family dynamics, you'll see that a lot of takers are within the family. And once the person sees where their time and energy is going to, it gives them a very quick reality check to see, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to do some upgrading or evolving or changing or
a lot of.
yes.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
when you're talking about your brand and your business, it's one thing to understand principles. It's another thing to understand the numbers, but when you integrate the both of them, you turn spiritual into practical and you get to see the reality of both of it happen in real time. That's why I love doing what I do.
Love it, sis. That's so powerful. Hey, when I tell y'all, I told y'all, high vibrational conversations over here, baby. It's facts. You have to be in tune
You
with
do.
yourself in order for you to move forward with anything. And you
Yes.
have to adopt this unapologetic mindset, y'all,
Yes.
of saying, I'm gonna do it regardless of who don't like it.
Yes.
I can't care about that. Are you creating your legacy for everybody else? Or are you doing it for the fulfillment that it's giving you? Yes, you're leaving it to those that, will be here after you're gone. But as you build that, who are you doing that for? I'm
Come
doing
on.
it for me.
Come on.
I'm
And
doing
I
that
think
for me.
And I want your audience to know as well that at one point, remember I told you I have to grow into that slogan about
Yeah.
leaving legacy behind, not liability. I've evolved into that to where I'm at now. Legacy is also present.
Yes.
It's not just what you leave behind, it's also present. So presently, I am legacy. You are legacy. What your platform is doing, this is a digital footprint. That is legacy.
Yes, ma'am.
You feel
Powerful,
me?
sis.
Powerful.
Hey, I feel you, baby. Y'all better feel her because I'm telling you, these conversations are what is necessary for you to really, one, say, okay, I need to have a conversation with somebody that is unbiased, but I know is supportive, that is non judgmental. Because a lot of times y'all let the judgment and y'all let people put their fears onto you when it comes to moving forward, right? You can't let that keep happening. I get so many conversations. I have individuals that I worked with 3 years ago that are coming to me now and they are still in the same space, if not, if anything, further back. And I'm not judging them for that, but because they adopted the mindset of, oh, I can do this on my own, I don't need to learn anything, I don't need to grow, they are still on that hamster wheel to nowhere. So we got to ask ourselves the questions. Are we ready to step into our higher being personally, entrepreneurially, and leaving that legacy, leaving those footprints right now? I love what you said because I totally agree that everything that I do is a footprint on creating the legacy that I want to establish right now, but that I also want to lead to. So I
Yes,
think that
yes,
that is super, super important. So I
yeah.
would love for you to share a little bit on how you think that moving forward as women entrepreneurs, what do you think are some tips and some habits that we need to start adopting in order for us to truly step into our higher beings?
Mm. At the top of it, I'm going to leave one good one, and everything else I think we've already talked about.
Yeah.
Wellness. I am a firm believer in present tense that women, particularly, need to reconnect with their bodies and stay connected to it. Because when we reconnect to our bodies and stay connected to it, that is the essence of our creativity. This is why I started Win Capital Consulting, and this is why I'm a wealth independence navigation coach. Why I started the Lotus Life program, because what I saw was after I had my stroke, I know God gave me this gift. I see when women are exhausted. I see when women are tired and beat down. Even when they're smiling, I can see
Yeah.
through that. You see what I'm saying? And even the women entrepreneurs that push, 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 they push through. And what happens is that we get caught up in the mondoon day-to-day operations of working, and we can't enjoy the creative nature that truly is part of what makes it magical. Okay. So, like these conversations that we're having right now, this is magical. This is essence. Now, when you get into doing the numbers, I have to make sure I'm meeting the demand of this. I got to make sure that I am getting my stats up on the Facebook Meta. You know, that we
Mhm.
get lost in that. I
Yeah.
got to get this amount of content out. But one of the things I will use you as an example that I like about you, and I noticed this because I'm a person, because I have a master's in psychology. I study patterns too. I love that you have your platform up. You connect with these people. You have it on a constant rotation basis. You have various women who go on this platform and they're speaking different subjects about different things. It is constantly going. You're constantly engaging with different topics and people from all over the place. That is genius,
Thank
because
you.
you still get to be you still get to do your creative essence, and you still have a platform that is fresh. That is what you are thriving in. So wellness, like I said before, is your well-being and your well-doing. And wellness is so important because when I left corporate America and when I had my stroke, what happened was is that it shut down the left part of my body, right? My eye was like drooped down here. This side of my body was temporarily paralyzed.
Wow.
When I called my supervisor back on when I was still working corporate America, now nothing against him, but the first thing they wanted to know was, what did I remember?
Hmm.
How much I remembered. I was no longer a human. I was a commodity of information. So I had, and then this is the crazy thing. You ready for this? I went back still in masculine energy, trying to work how I worked when I left.
Wow.
And guess what? I met so many mental barriers that I could not move forward. I had to focus on my health. I had to do something different. So when I left corporate America, it was even down to the point, Coach K, let me tell you something. I was experiencing anxiety because I was so used to being on autopilot. I was so used to waking up to go to this corporate America job. And let me tell you how this looked. Get up in the morning time, not thinking, sit on the porcelain guy, which is the toilet, for about 30 minutes, trying to figure out my day, scrolling on my phone, trying to figure out who I need to call, what meetings I have for that day. It's autopilot. Nothing,
It's
because you're
autopilot.
eating at the desk. And see, what happened with me, with my wellness, is I was a former binge eater. So when I'm under duress and stress, I'm eating at my
Eating,
desk
eating. Yeah.
constantly, constantly, constantly. I'm trying to walk off, but I'm under pressure because I got projects due, I got this due, I got that due. It is constant. And then I am the only black female leader
Oh,
in my, Okay. So I had to change up my, not only just my environment, but how I treated myself. And this is the thing that women have to get better at, is how we treat ourselves.
Sis.
First thing in the Psalms 46:5 says that God will protect her at the dawn of day, will not let her fail or fall. And I was wondering about that dawn, because let me tell you what happens. Because I'm once again, I'm a veteran. I have racing thoughts, if you want to say, right? So what happens is I seek Christ consciousness to slow down those thoughts so I can hear what God is telling me first thing in the morning time. I have to have slow mornings now. I have to be in communion with my higher self now.
Yeah.
I have I have to. That is a requirement, because if I start my day in rush mode, it does not go well. I know you know what I'm talking about. 'Cause
Definitely know what you're talking about. That's why I can't do nothing but chuckle, because I'm like,
it,
whew.
it is a chaos.
Yes, it
I
is.
have to start my day with God. I got to start my day with God. God is. I got to start my day with slowness, meditation. I go walking. I have to I have to pour into me
Yeah.
first.
And I
So I
think that's
advocate
important.
to women, which is one of the pillars for Win Capital Consulting, is wellness. And it's the same thing for the Lotus Life program. When they come into that program, the first thing we doing is we are reconnecting that woman back to herself.
Yes, I love
And
it.
how that looks is that they get a lotus flower and a lotus seed, and that seed represents them. Because there's a lot of things that when I learned from dealing with finances, that starts in the environment,
Yeah.
that we don't know about until we get our older selves, that we're still dealing with.
Yep. That is a
We're
fact.
still dealing with. And when you do that, you discover things about yourself in your slowness, then versus you're on autopilot.
Yep. I know I did. I've realized so many things even before, when I was on autopilot. I didn't like nature. I didn't want to be outside. I didn't like bugs. I don't want no bugs. Them bugs gonna get me. Now you can't keep
Right?
me from being outside.
Exactly.
Every morning, like majority of the mornings now, because I'm in the Midwest, so Illinois, we have 4 seasons. So
Ye-
some of them seasons I can't be outside. But listen, in the times that I can, in the morning, I am at the park. I am grounding.
Yes.
I am meditating. The first 30 minutes of my day is all about me. I don't grab my phone. You know what I'm saying? Unless the scripture is reading or something's coming out to me, a meditation is coming up, because I'll do the pop-ups throughout the day with that too.
See.
So just being mindful of
Yes.
me for my first 30 minutes sets my tone for the rest of the day. I
Yes.
agree with you. I cannot. I have a very overactive brain, baby. This thought, these minds, I be like, no. And tech and psychology wise, our brains are the most active when we wake up.
Yes, it
So,
is.
you know what I'm saying? So therefore we do have to kind of slow that down.
To slow it down.
Absolutely. Because once I get out of that zone, it's like, okay, now I got thoughts going crazy. So now I done wrote stuff down. I done got this, and now I got the strategy set. 7:30, 8 o'clock, baby. I done got a whole project done because my mind is on. So it's very important that I really just want you guys to take away from this the fact that there has to be structure in your life in order for your life to be effectively moving forward. There has to be structure. There has to be some form of things for you to say, okay, this is what's going to happen today. Yes, I go off the radar. Sometimes things on the calendars don't get done. I don't beat myself up about that.
Yes,
But
yes,
I do have the structure. And I want us to understand, as business owners, whatever level you are in on your journey, you have to start with structure. You got to start with structure. Woo!
yes.
Y'all, we'll be on here 9 hours talking to y'all, okay? Because we just got so much to talk about and so many gems to drop. But I would love to hear from you, Queen. Just what's coming up for you the rest of 2025? What you got coming up?
So we are raising funds for the Lotus Life program. I'm doing it. I say backwards, but I'm doing the right way. Because I've worked in corporate America, I don't want to start a program and not have the money.
Right.
So we are launching different projects, collaborating with other entrepreneur women that are like us, who
Yes.
believe in the principles of the Lotus Life program to raise money. We want to establish this program hopefully in 2026. You know, you have to make your tread in the community where you're at. It is going to be in the community, but it's also going to be virtually too, because we understand in our time right now that everything might not be where you are. It might be virtual, and that's okay. I'm also working on another book of poems because I am a poet.
Man.
At the end of the year. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also establishing more clientels. I will be accepting more clients in the fourth quarter for my lifestyle currency coaching, which I'm very excited about that. And I do have one thing I do want to announce. I was hesitant on it, but I am a member of the Certified Financial Board Planner, and I will be getting my Certified Financial Planner certification. Not that I
Yes.
need it, not that I need it, but just to say I have it for those who like.
It ain't nothing. That's what growth minded people do. We still will seek out. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I love that, sis. Congratulations. Oh my God. Thank you for sharing that. That's so dope.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
so proud. I'm so happy. I'm just so excited for you. And just everything that you have going on right now. Hey, the elevation is real, sis. And I cannot.
And can I say two more things? I have to say
Yes.
this. Okay.
Yes.
One of my two of my business relations capital passive wealth group. That's one of our joint ventures with Coach Keisha.
Yes.
We have a masterclass coming up in September called Flip the Script. You can follow me on my outlets for that. And I'm
Yes.
also a co-founder of an organization called Queens with the Millionaire Mindset. We started out with 16 women back in 2020 during COVID. We're down to 10 women, and we have officially a portfolio of cryptocurrency, stocks, and we are stakeholders in a hotel.
Let's go. Come on, y'all. Come
Celebrate
on,
5
y'all.
years
You see
this
what
year.
happened? Sis, I am just so excited for you and what's to come for you. And just so happy and proud of you. So, so much. Like,
Thank you.
it really means so much to just know that I know people who are just walking in their purpose, elevating themselves, but also bringing those that want to come to.
Yes.
I think that that's so amazing. So amazing, y'all. All her socials will definitely be in the podcast notes, so you guys will be able to check out everything, the websites, everything. You'll be able to connect with her, schedule some time, talk with her one on one, as far as and to see everything that she's offering. Shout out to Coach Keisha as well with Passive Wealth Group. I love them. We have had some vibes with both of them together, so I'm just super excited for everything that you guys got going on.
Appreciate you. Thank you for even accepting me and inviting me on here. I really appreciate this, and I love your platform.
Thank you so much. Y'all know what it is. If you ain't take away the message today that you need to get yourself in alignment with what you want to be, what you want to do, and how you want to make that happen, purpose, intention, higher vibration, all of those things are part of the entrepreneur journey. It's not just about you talking about what kind of business you want to have. It's you activating that and stepping into that unapologetically with the obstacles, the ups and the downs, and especially with the thrills and the spills, because baby, they are going to be there. But have the mindset to be able to get through them anyway. All
Yes.
right. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in again. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. Make sure you have subscribed to the podcast. If you are interested in being a guest on The Woman's Hustle, holla at your girl. Visit upgradedmindsets.life/media. Fill out an inquiry form, and I'll be in touch, baby. But until then, stay empowered.